I got the mesothelioma, it's asbestos related, from teaching at Dawlish School, which is a comprehensive school, and I was in the original 1930s chemistry department. Well, it was one laboratory, and that had asbestos ceilings, and that had asbestos walls, and it had asbestos fume cupboards. And every day I was there with 30 children, and we would happily breathe it in and breathe it out, not knowing that there was going to be any problems with it. But apparently one or two other people in the school must have known that it existed. There must have been some health and safety checking done at some time. Well, I'd like to think so. But I was there for 5 days a week, 40 weeks of the year. I don't know, it was probably your willingness to help. But I did not know that I could make a claim. I didn't know how much money was likely to be involved, or whether it was even worth doing.
That's right. So what was the process like? Was it onerous? Was it time-consuming? Was it difficult for you as a client?
I don't recollect it being difficult at all. I think with your help, it went reasonably smoothly. I think we got on quite well together, and I think that's important.
So was it, as a client, was it difficult for paperwork, or was that something that we managed okay?
I think you managed that quite well. I was able to give you a few names possibly and a few dates, but I think the rest of it you researched yourself.
That's right. That's right. And a lot of people are sometimes in your condition put off making a claim because they don't want to have to go into lawyers' offices and so on. How did we manage that?
Well, you came and visited me all the time, either in this room or another one. I was delighted not to have to go to court, because that would have put me under a lot of pressure, not having been to court for anything.
That's right. We got good evidence, and we were able to settle the case. I think another thing that people are worried about when they make a claim, if they haven't been involved with lawyers, is the cost. They're concerned about how expensive it's going to be. What's your experience on that?
I think you made the point quite early on that it was going to be one of these no claim, no pay things.
That's right. Conditional fee agreement, wasn't it? No win, no fee.
No win, no fee, that's the one. Yes. And one is always anxious a little bit because you don't know how much it's going to cost. Money doesn't grow on trees anymore.
No, that's right.
I forget now the check that how it arrived, but I guess it came in through the post. You didn't arrive with a big pile of pound notes.
I didn't, did I? No, that would have been good. You didn't have to pay anything because your lawyers were able to win the case and charge out fees separately. So that's something that's important for people just to bear in mind.
And I also liked the way that I could have a standard stair lift fitted, and knowing that it was going to be paid for by somebody or other. I also had a little ride-on buggy in the garage, and that was £1,000 or thereabouts. But that also was able to be paid for.
So those aids and equipment that you were able to get as a result of the claim helped make it worthwhile.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And without making the claim, you would have struggled to get that extra help, I suppose.
Well, one would have been more reluctant to have said, oh yes, we'll have that one because that's a pretty colour.
That's right. And is there anything you would say to somebody in your position who's thinking about whether they should make a claim or not? What would your advice be?
Go ahead with it. Make sure that you choose a guy like yourself that you actually get on with, and if possible have it done in your own home, because one is more relaxed there.